This is the all-new Barefoot mock toe boot from Jim Green, and today we're going to tell you why it is one of the most unique boots out on the market today. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sons of Sever YouTube channel. There's no such thing as bad weather, only bad gear. My name is Eric. Today, my brother Chris and I, like I said, will be talking all about this brand new Barefoot mock toe from Jim Green. It's a boot that I think the Barefoot world has really been looking forward to. When Jim Green announced that they were going to start doing mock toe boots, I think there was a collective sigh and whine from the Barefoot world saying, where's our version, where's the zero drop? And it took them a little bit longer after introducing the mock toes to give us this zero drop version, and I'm super excited now that they're here. Chris and I are going to go back and forth talking about all the things that we like and don't like about these boots. There's timestamps in the description if you want to jump around, but I'm going to send you over to Chris now to get you started with our likes.
The first like that I want to bring up for the workhorse mock toe is going to be that it has comfort right out of the box. Does not take a lot of break-in. The day after I unboxed these, I actually started wearing them to my delivery job. And obviously delivery jobs are going to be kind of rough on the shoes overall, but it handled it well, and it's handling this first hike that I'm doing with them really, really well also. So in true mock toe fashion, moccasin fashion, they are comfortable right out of the box.
All right, so as mentioned in the intro of the video, I want to talk about what makes this boot so unique and so special in the market today, because it's one thing that I really do like about this boot. And the first thing is that it's being made in a traditional mock toe fashion. So what that means is that this upper wraps all the way underneath your foot. And as far as I know, there really aren't too many other brands that are making mock toe boots in that way. So Jim Green has really gone back to the roots of what makes a mock toe, and they're building it in that awesome traditional way. Now with that upper going all the way underneath your foot, the best way to secure that upper to the midsole is with a Blake stitch. And so this has a 360-degree Blake stitch throughout the boot as well. That's going to give it some awesome durability, and it's also going to make it so that this thing is resolable, which really are two pillars of what makes Jim Green boots so great. The fact that they are being built robust with good stitching and that they can be resoled. So that's one thing that makes this really unique and really cool in the market. The other thing is that it has those Barefoot qualities. So there aren't really any other Barefoot mock toes out there that I can think of besides Lems. They've got their boulder boots. Those definitely are not being made in this traditional way. So you get that awesome blend of traditional construction methods with the Barefoot features that it has, and you get something that's truly unique and truly awesome in the industry.
The next like that I have for the workhorse mock toe is going to be the new traction pattern that they have now. I don't know if this traction pattern is exclusively for their new Barefoot lasts. It's on the anatomical last teaser for you guys there, because you haven't seen it yet. You will next week, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notifications if you haven't. But this new outsole, even though we loved the Anvil outsole, that thing was bomb-proof, we'd still recommend it. This one seems to be doing just as good. The first half of this hike is really dry and rocky. The second half has been muddy and mushy with old leaves, and it's doing just as good on this slicker surface as it was on the drier, more grippy surface. So this outsole is great.
All right, just gotta take another quick moment here to highlight how good these boots look. There's two different models that you can get. You've got the Meander and the Workhorse. Chris has a Workhorse, I got the Meander. They're both coming in beautiful leathers, and the design that they settled on is just really, really nice. If you go look at the how it's made video for these boots, they went through a ton of different iterations before they landed on this version right here. And I think that they completely nailed it. I love the look of these boots.
I brought things back to the studio for my last like because this one's gonna be a little bit long-winded, but it needs to be detailed because it is important when we talk about the toe box on this and how much I actually like it. We have a 3E width here is what Jim Green is listing for this. It's gonna be deceiving because the mock toe stitch here just kind of draw the eye in and it makes things look narrower, but where your foot actually fits is where the material balloons out here at the sides in true mock toe fashion. It's kind of that moccasin feeling that you get out of the boot. I am a 2E on the edge of being a 3E. If I keep working on my toe splay, I will be a solid 3E at some point, and my foot fits into this just fine. I've got plenty of space in here for me to splay out comfortably. Now, the caveat here is going to be the shape. This thing is not the most foot-shaped boot we've ever seen. It does taper in a little too much on the big toe side. So this shoe actually doesn't fit Eric's foot shape super great. So it feels narrower to him, even though I have a wider foot than his technically, which is really interesting, something to keep in mind. But in my opinion, if you have the right foot shape for this, or if you are much less than a triple E width, there's gonna be plenty of room in this toe box for you. I personally am a huge fan of it.
All right, and the last thing that I really like about these things is the price for the quality that you're getting. So I have these coming in at $280. So two other brands that come in at that same price point are Danner and Thorogood. I don't know if either of them are making these the same way that Jim Green are. You've got Thursdays coming in at like $200. Again, I don't think they have the same construction quality. Then you've got Russell Moccasin. Those are coming in at like $800. Again, I'm not 100% sure on the construction methods of those. Let us know down in the comments. I'd love to continue learning more and more about those. I've never looked into them because they don't have barefoot options, but now we've got this barefoot option from Jim Green that's being traditionally made, and it's for $280. So not the cheapest, but definitely not the most expensive. I really like the price point that these are coming in at and the quality that you're getting. All right, before getting into our dislikes, we did want to mention that we do have an affiliate link to Jim Green's website. If you use that link to get to their website and it results in a purchase, we get a small commission from that sale at no extra cost to you, and that really helps the channel out. It gets more gear into our hands and helps us get more quality reviews out to you. We also think that if you're into barefoot shoes and you're not wearing toe socks, then you are missing out on a big part of the experience. Creeper's toe socks of the 20+ brands are our favorites. So we find that they have a really nice merino wool blend that they're using in their socks. It keeps your feet warm in the winter. It helps them stay cool in the summer. There's nothing quite like putting on a fresh pair of Creeper's toe socks. They've got a ton of different colorways, a bunch of different styles going on. Some that we've been using with these now are their new boot cut styles. So use that link in the description to get to their website and check out everything that they've got.
Getting into my dislikes for this mock toe boot, I really only have two. The first one I'll glaze through pretty quickly because I kind of mentioned it in my last like, but I'd love to see this thing be more foot shaped. Within the next 2 weeks, you guys will see us do a video on the new anatomical last from Jim Green. And I wish the anatomical last and the barefoot mock toe would kind of have a baby with each other. I don't know what the limiting factors are in there, if the mock toe specifically to get the construction traditionally correct, which is very important to a lot of people. I don't know if that keeps it from being able to be in this wider, more anatomical last. We'll find out the caveats there, but if it is possible to have the anatomical last and the mock toe have a baby, I would be all for that. The thing that I really don't like about this is something that really limits the performance, and that's going to be the water resistance. There isn't any, and I don't know if that's because of all of the stitching that goes into getting a proper mock toe figured out, but this thing does not do well with water at all. I had some water crossings on my hike, and water definitely got in here to the point where I'm actually worried that in heavy enough rain, this thing wouldn't be water resistant enough for those situations. Not sure it really needs it for what the purpose of the boot is, and it hasn't stopped me from wearing this thing nonstop. But I would love to see this somehow handle water a little bit better.
All right, so talking about my dislikes with the barefoot mock toe from Jim Green, there's only one thing that I can think of, and that is the shape of this shoe, because it's definitely, in my opinion, the most narrow shoe from Jim Green that we have encountered. And when it comes to barefoot qualities, people are looking generally for a really wide toe box. Now, Chris says that it totally works for his feet, that the width is good enough for him, and usually he's the one that's more of a toe box snob than I am. I think what it comes down to is the shape of these shoes, because when I stand in them, I do have enough wiggle room if I force my foot side to side, that there's a little bit of space on each side. So I do think that the width is there. I think it's the shape that isn't quite working with my foot specifically. It must work for Chris's, and it doesn't work for mine, because when I start walking, I do feel my big toe pushing up against this side of the shoe. And that is a bit of a bummer, because in everything else that this shoe is, I absolutely love it, but it has been a little bit harder for me to wear just because I think that that shape doesn't quite work out for my foot. So that is one thing to consider, because we know that people are coming into these looking for barefoot qualities, and that might be an area where this one's lacking just a little bit.
Getting into my final opinion on the Jim Green Workhorse Barefoot Mock Toe. Would I recommend this to somebody who is looking for a legitimately traditional mock toe construction boot with the barefoot trimmings? I don't think you technically have another offering out there that meets these specifications. If you do know of one, let me know down in the comment section, because as of right now, the only thing that comes close is some of the boulder boot variants from Lems. And while they look like mock toes, we would call them fake mock toes because they don't have the same construction methods that go into something like this. They just look like a mock toe. Now, we love those boots. A lot of them perform really, really well. They look good while doing it, and we just like the comfort of them overall. Better toe boxes, arguably, as well, but you are missing out on whatever it is that makes this a traditionally handmade, properly stitched mock toe boot. So this is probably the only place you can get it. Outside of that, I love this thing. I haven't taken it off my feet. I am wearing it at every opportunity. The fall weather that we're having is perfect for it. I'm gonna continue to push it through the winter and see how it handles things like snow. I could not say enough good things about this boot. I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels. I love the way it's made. It feels like it's going to last me forever. It probably will. I honestly could not gush to you more about these. I would say hit that link down in the description and don't walk, run to get yourself a pair of these Barefoot mock toes from Jim Green. That's how much I love them.
All right, so when it comes to my final opinion of the Jim Green Barefoot mock toe, would I recommend this for other people? And I think it depends on how wide your feet actually are. So Chris and I recently got our actual measurements so that we could order a pair of boots from another brand. And according to what we found, he was a double E and I was a single E. My feet aren't quite as wide as his are, but that's interesting because he says that his feet fit just fine in here and I'm having a little bit tougher of a time. Again, I think that comes down to the shape of the shoes. I do think the width is there. It's just the shape interacting with the shape of my foot that's not quite working out. Everything else I absolutely love about these things and I would recommend them. I think that the price point for the quality is really, really great, and that's true of Jim Green across the board. I think that these are absolutely beautiful. I think they did a really, really good job designing them. I love the way that they're made with that actual mock toe construction where the upper goes underneath your foot, the 360 Blake stitch, the fact that they can be resoled. If your feet fit into these things, then there is nothing to dislike about them.
Folks, if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. All those things really help the channel out. If you're interested in any of the products that we talked about in this video, there will be links to them down in the description. If we have discount codes for any of those companies, they will be featured with the links. If you want to get more content from us, there are 3 different places you can get it. The first one is Patreon, where for $1 a month, you can get exclusive behind-the-scenes content we don't post anywhere else. If you want to be most up to date with what we are working on, make sure to follow us on Instagram, where we are constantly posting unboxing videos. Go follow us on Strava if you're interested in seeing mini reviews in real time of the products we're using and what we're using them for. Strava allows you to track and post about your different activities. We track and post about our runs, trail runs, hikes, paddleboarding, and weightlifting, and we do little mini reviews on the products we're using during those activities. Go follow us there, and we will follow you back. We appreciate your view, and as always, we will catch you in the mountains.